The Entertainment Software Association, a lobbying group representing Nintendo, Ubisoft, and a long list of other AAA studios, just tried to scare California politicians into doing their bidding. It's the same old fear-mongering playbook big corporations always run when they want to overrule the will of the people. Ross Scott from Stop Killing Games wasn't having any of it. He absolutely destroyed the ESA in a response letter that went out this morning. The ESA claims that AB 1921 is fundamentally flawed because, quote, games are licensed, not owned. This is classic Ubisoft flavored garbage. It's the same kind of statement that makes every gamer hiss. AAA studios actually believe that the technicality of digital games being licensed somehow erases your basic consumer right to a functioning product. Ross Scott's response cuts right through it. When a consumer pays for a game, they reasonably expect to use the core features of that game as advertised at the time of purchase. That's an absolute burn right there, okay? And the ESA is intentionally framing this bill as some kind of attack on developers' copyright. It's the same dishonest spin they used to call Stop Killing Games theft. Does that ring any bells? Meanwhile, these are the exact same jerks who think it's fine to sell you a game and then shut it down whenever they feel like, with no refund. Here's what the bill actually says. It requires the operator to provide the purchaser with an alternate version, a patch, an update, or refund for the game, and prohibits the operator from selling a version of the game that cannot be used by the purchaser independent of the services controlled by the operator. That's it. That's the whole thing. Nothing in that language strips the developers of their copyright or any constitutional right. The ESA just hates the idea of consumer accountability. Accountability they could have avoided entirely if they have respected gamers in the first place. AB 1921 does not override copyright law. It simply holds AAA accountable. Gamers just want a product they paid for, working the way as it was advertised. Are books licensed too? That's the core of this fight between gamers and the people making the games. It's the whole reason why GOG was created. But the ESA doubles down. They claim the bill ignores how games actually work. They pretend it forces developers to support the game indefinitely. Ross Scott shut that down too. AB 1921 does not require every support service to continue forever. Consumers understand such features may eventually end. The bill addresses the different problem of those services being used to disable the purchased game itself. Think of it like a GPS in a car. If the GPS service gets shut down, that is not an excuse for the manufacturer to disable the entire car. All this bill asks is that the basic product keeps working, the product consumers paid for. The ESA will scream about technical limitations. That is a load of BS. Valve lets you run your own game servers. Overbearing DRM can be removed, which ironically decreases piracy.
By improving the service component of the experience rather than through copy protection, which reduces the service component. Copy protection is actually going to increase. There's anecdotal evidence this is the case that copy protection actually increases rather than decreases the piracy of games.
Online stores can be cleanly disabled. Almost every AAA can be emulated on the client side. I know this because I do some software engineering myself. Godot is a game engine criticized by AAA by being unscalable. But me, a solo developer, made it super scalable. There's a reason why I'm sharing this. AAA lobbying groups love to call some things technically impossible as an excuse to ignore basic consumer rights. If a solo developer like me can make a slow scripting language outrun C# and Unreal Engine blueprints, a billion-dollar studio can absolutely move a game from dedicated servers to peer-hosted, just like old Call of Duty did. Remember when the host ended the game? That's exactly why that happens. Then the ESA throws a gotcha about third-party licenses and security, and they make themselves look like a total clowns again. Ross Scott then again firmly corrects the ESA. That is different from disabling ordinary private use by a consumer who already acquired the game. A consumer playing a purchased game is not monetizing, redistributing, or commercially exploiting licensed content. Security notice can also be handled through ordinary notice and unsupported use terms. The entire point of this bill is that consumers who legally acquired the game have the right to keep playing it, even after licensing agreements expire. And when that is genuinely not possible, the bill falls back on a refund. It is a common sense to refund a customer when a product is defective at no fault of their own. But somehow, not with video games. That is a double standard that has annoyed me for a long time. This is exactly why this bill matters so much to gamers. How it went from a humble gamer with an online petition, now going to Europe, America, and soon other countries. We already beat the anti-consumer resistance once by rejecting pirate software. The ESA, a front for AAA to push anti-gamer policy, is next in line. Almost all of AAA signed off for this organization to represent them, but a few companies like, for example, Valve. The ESA is a final boss for consumer rights, and gamers are tired of media they can't share with their children. Software over time doesn't break like your hardware, but companies like Nintendo want it that way. It's about time for us gamers to fight back against AAA's anti-consumer activism. I don't live in California anymore, but you can still fight back. Even if you don't live there, you can smash the like button, subscribe, and comment to let the YouTube algorithm to know to push this video to other people who do live in California. Or even share it with other people you know who live in California yourself. If you are in California, you can voice your support to your local leaders here. Don't forget to share your thoughts down below. What do you think the ESA misunderstands about the current state of gaming?